Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new Division video. As you guys can see, I am on Tom Clancy's Ubisoft website, whatever you guys want to call it. Since update 1.7 just came out, I've been really busy. I know the patch notes came out a few days ago, so most of you guys that are watching this might know most of the stuff, or maybe know all of it, or probably saw the patch notes by now. Like I just said, been really busy, and there's probably some things in here. I'm not going to go through every single bullet point in here. I'm just going to go through the things that I think are very important, but like I said, I've been really busy, so I haven't got to see this. I haven't got to look at it, and I know for a fact that there's probably some things in here that I probably don't know anything about. Some changes that maybe the people themselves, the developers for the Division, probably maybe didn't talk about in State of the Game, or maybe didn't focus that much on. So, like I said, I'm going to talk about all the main things. If I think it's important, I'm going to try to talk about it as much as I can. Hopefully this video isn't longer than like 10 minutes, because otherwise I just ramble on for a long time. But hopefully it's shorter than 10 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you guys do enjoy it, make sure you guys drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're like 30, 40 subs off of 4,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool in my personal opinion. We're back on the grind. I guess you can say I'm back out of retirement since I have videos to make again. 1.6.1 was kind of dead. There's really nothing to do, and everyone sort of exhausted every video they could possibly make for content-wise and stream-wise for the Division at that current time. But we have 1.7, so we're going to get right into the video. First thing, global events. This is basically one of the main things for 1.7, along with the accommodations and all the new classified gear sets. If you guys don't know what global events are, they basically last 1 week at a time. During these global events, you have specific missions, specific incursions, and different challenges and whatnot that earn you global event credits, whatever you want to call them, and those credits allow you to buy those encrypted caches that you get from just playing the game, and then also you get to buy those global event caches as well, which I'm going to be making a separate video because I definitely think that the odds are a little bit different. If you guys just want to know a example of why I'm talking about this, me and my friend got on this morning. Update 1.7 came out today. You guys are going to probably see the video tomorrow, but the Division 1.7 update came out today, and me and my friend did a few missions on the hardest difficulty for the global event, and we opened the 1,500 credit cache, and it says that you're supposed to have like an 11% chance of getting an exotic, and you have like a 43% chance of getting a classified gear set, and then it's like 30-something% for just a regular normal gear set piece that's not like exotic or it's not classified. And the very first cache that both of us opened, we actually got a classified gear piece, and we got an exotic. He ended up getting the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack that is sort of going to be like the new sought piece that everyone wants because it's really versatile. Also, if you guys didn't know this, in the PTS, the exotic backpack, the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack, so say if you had 5 pieces of classified gear and you wanted to use that towards your 6th piece, that would work. It would activate as being used as a 6th piece. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid, it was a glitch and they were just testing it out for 1.7, and I'm late to the story for this, but for 1.7 right now, as active, it doesn't actually work. It doesn't work. It's only used for regular gear sets as of right now. It could be changed, I don't know. Maybe I'm just late towards this, but I could have swore you could use it for regular gear sets and also classified gear sets in the PTS, but that's beside the point. We can make a separate video about that, but like I said, global event, I'm going to make a separate video about the caches that you can buy with the global event points. And then obviously with the global events, you can get those new vanity sets. Each global event is going to have 3 different classified gear sets. I'll make a separate video about that as well, talking about the gear sets and if they're actually worth grinding for. Then obviously you have those 3 different weapon skins you're going to get as well from those. Accommodation patches, like I said in previous videos, I really don't give a shit about them. I'll make a separate video about why some people might want to complete them. New feature, the mask. If you guys didn't know, you can get new mask for your character that actually covers like your complete face. A lot of people are wanting those. I don't really know why. That's all people were talking about in my live stream today on YouTube. I don't really know what the problem is about that. If I get one, that's awesome, but I really don't care. I'm not going to shit my pants if I get one from an encrypted cache. Face customization, really don't care about that. Basically, if you want to change your character from like how it was in the beginning game, you cannot do that. Encrypted caches, I made a separate video about that. Basically, you just get like cosmetic items for your character, so new clothes, different shoes, camos for your weapons, and anything else you can think of that's cosmetic and doesn't make you better than someone else. Next, going on to the classified gear sets. I'm not going to talk about all these. If you guys want to look at all these gear sets and talk about all the different the bonuses that you get from them, you can. Basically, every single gear set that we had previously to the update, we have in as a classified gear set for 1.7. But instead of having a 4-piece, we now have a 5-piece and a 6-piece. It's basically like a buffed or a increased version of the 4-piece and 3-piece bonuses, which is the 5 and 6-piece now. So if you guys were wondering what they were, that's basically what it is. And right here, these were really big things. I don't think actually a lot of people knew about any of these things right here, especially these main things. But the reason why I wanted to focus on these, I just saw these as I was scrolling down previously. So for 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.6.1, I'm going to give you an example so you guys understand what I'm saying if you guys don't. But basically, let's say that you're on your main character, you're like maxed out, you have like all god roll weapons, you have super good weapons that you rolled from blueprints and you crafted from blueprints, and you only had that blueprint, that specific blueprint. Let's say you had a lightweight M4 blueprint. You could only use that blueprint and craft stuff from that one character on that account. Now you can go on to a second character, maybe a third character, whoever fucking knows. If you for some reason have a fourth character that's like maxed out level 99, for some odd reason, you can go on to that character and the blueprints transfer over to all the characters on your whatever account, as long as it's the same account, and you can craft stuff with those blueprints for any character across that account. Same thing goes for your currencies. I know Phoenix credits transferred, I think, through all of them, but currencies never did, and then crafting materials also did as well. But also right here, after a medkit cleanses a status effect, so say you're on fire, you're bleeding, and you use that medkit to make it go away, it will grant a temporary 3-second invulnerability to the cleansed effect. So that is really, really huge, guys. So obviously Seekr mines really aren't a big thing, so I'm just gonna give you guys an example of maybe if you're bleeding or if you're on fire, if you use a medkit and it makes it go away and you like walk in the fire for 3 seconds, you're basically invincible to that whatever you were status effect by for 3 seconds, which is it's really, really big because you don't know how annoying it is when you're playing Last Stand and you catch on fire from a turret, you use a medkit, and then you go to dive, and as soon as you get done diving, you catch on fire again. Now it gives you a 3-second invulnerability, basically 3 seconds to try to get away from whatever you were getting status affected from, which it's really, really big. So I'm glad they did that. Not going to talk about all these bugs. Weapon balances, but they added a hard cap for RPM for all weapons because people, I guess, were using like modded controllers, and they were using Cronus Maxes and stuff to like make pistols like shoot super fast, and they were using like marksman rifles and things, making them basically be fully automatic, and they were using burst weapons to make them like completely fully automatic, basically like tripling or stacking their DPS. And then the SVD, they actually made some changes if you guys weren't aware of. Actually, the recoil and the hip spread have been retuned to be in line with the M1A, so basically they're sort of like the same weapon, I guess. And then the RPM value shown in burst fire weapons is actually reflected of their actual RPM instead of the RPM from the burst alone, if that makes sense. A lot of people were mad about this. Like I said, I never tested this gear set, to be honest with you guys, in the game really, or in the PTS. But they actually nerfed it. They changed the 3-piece bonus from 30% health to do 10% damage to elites. I'm not really sure what made them do that. Maybe some people were just like overusing it and just being dicks with it. I don't really know why they did that, but obviously the big thing from 1.7 as well, everyone wants this new exotic backpack. If you didn't have one before, you're going to want one. If you had one, you saved it and didn't break it down, good job, guys. I'm giving you guys a thumbs up. You guys just can't see it. The slots, so basically it slots in with any equipped gear to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a new gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously, cannot unlock classified gear set bonuses. Like I said before in the beginning of the video, like, I don't know if I'm drunk or if I'm retarded, but I specifically remember in the PTS that you could use this towards classified gear sets. I may have missed something in the state of the game, maybe, or like I said, I might just be stupid or late to the news or something, but I could have swear that worked toward classified gear sets because it's kind of like worthless. Like I said, I guess if it worked toward classified gear sets, it would make it really overpowered, and you'd be able to get full classified gear sets basically with 5 pieces every single time, especially if you had like a perfectly rolled exotic backpack and it had like perfect rolls, max damage or max armor on it and everything else. I guess it'd make it kind of OP, but like I said, I could have swore it worked for classified gear sets. I could be wrong, but who knows. The pack and weapon talent is now only applied to the bonus magazine size on reload. Some talents, if you guys are wondering what some talents they made, changes to stable talent will now increase the stability to 10% instead of 35%. That's insane. Cool-headed and determined talents will now have an effect on cooldowns for all skills, including signature skills. And then they also fixed this bug. This definitely happened. It's not supposed to happen, but it did. Fixed the bug where triage would be applied multiple times. So basically, it was like pre-triage where you could run through your heal multiple times. And they also sort of nerfed Battle Buddy where the buff would apply twice and apply the revive twice with a support station. Loadouts, we don't really care about that. Skills, I guess we'll talk about a few of the skills since Seekr Mine's the big one. The explosion damage has been reduced from 900 to 600. The airburst mod, which was basically what everyone was using, damage has been reduced from 300 to 120. I am so thankful that they nerfed the hell out of that so no one uses it anymore. And then they fixed a bug where the Seekr Mine cluster mod would sometimes be able to detonate on a target. Like I said, not going to talk about any of the other ones, just want to talk about Seekr Mine because that was a big thing that they changed skill-wise. Survival, this is a big change, so maybe this will actually make people come back to survival, because if you guys have ever played survival like in the past update or two, since survival is actually introduced into the game as a DLC, it's kind of dead. Like, the lobbies die just virtually almost every single time, like 5 to 10 minutes in the game. Every once in a great while, like maybe every 10 to 15 games that I play after I win, I'll find one of those lit lobbies where everyone is actually like PvPing and actually going for kills on other agents. But before that, it was kind of dead lobbies. Everyone died from NPCs, and everyone else basically just was on their own. But now they change it. Reaching tier 1 rewards you with a survival cache instead of gear cache. So maybe if you're not that good at survival for the first time, and you make it to tier 1 instead of going to tier 2, you used to only get a gear cache, but now you're going to get a survival cache for sort of just staying alive for a little bit. And then tier 2 rewards you with 1 survival cache and a weapons cache. Not that much of a change. Not that you ever get shit from weapons caches, but still. And then also it says fixed a bug where punish accolade at the end of the screen would always have a checkbox next to it, even if it wasn't completed. Last stand, they fixed the issue with positioning of a prop, which could cause players to get stuck in tactical point. I definitely had that happen to me. I'm not gonna lie. Base of operations, we don't really care about that. World, we don't really care about that. UI, we don't really care about any of that stuff down there either. We'll talk about the encrypted caches, but some Dark Zone changes. A loot table object in DZ27 was an unreachable place. Not really sure what that is, but it's just basically like some object changes, to be honest. And then some name. Apparently, they changed the name. NPC Beans now belongs to the correct faction. Who cares? Going on to the classified changes, or the changes from PTS 3 to the 1.7 build. So if you guys played PTS, and you guys are on Xbox, or you guys are on PC, whatever, the Strikers Battle Gear 6P stacks will now be reset when the player exits combat. Boo. That was kind of OP in the PTS, not gonna lie. Final measure, players will no longer defuse grenades when down. So that was really, really broken. So if you tried throwing a grenade at the person that you downed and they're using final measure, it would still defuse the grenades or anything that you threw at them when they were in the down mode. Sentry's Call 6-piece bonus now has 50% chance instead of 25% to spread within 25 meters, which was 10 before. And then we don't really care about anything else before that. And then talking about global events, the contagious event effect and outbreak has been tuned down. It doesn't sound like it, or didn't feel like it when I played today, but who knows. And then here's the thing that I was talking about. I'm gonna make a separate video because I don't feel like these percentages are very accurate or right at all. Because like I said, I opened 2 of these global event caches. 2 of them I got exotics, and then my friend opened 2 of them. He got 1 exotic, and then both of the exotics I got a classified gear set piece, and I got an exotic. I got 1 exotic weapon, and I got an exotic piece for gear as well. But like I said, 11.5 is already like really, really high percent-wise. But like I said, I opened 2 of the 1500. Maybe there's a difference in that, but like I said, I opened 2 of them, and I got exotics in both of them, and I got classified gear set. So it's sort of 50-50 if you're going to get classified or a regular gear set. But it's a pretty good odds, and it's really easy to get the currency to buy the caches anyway, so it's not really a big deal to me. And then encrypted caches, the key fragment drop rate was increased from 3% to 20%. So if you guys played any of the PTS, it was like virtually impossible to get these key fragments. You could play for like 3 hours, you were lucky to get 1 of them. Like I said, the key fragments now drop from named NPCs in the open world Dark Zones missions, incursions, and high value target contracts. Like I said, that's basically the main things I want to talk about. You guys can go through and look at everything. It's actually a pretty detailed and long list if you guys wanted to look at it yourselves. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I'm going to be live streaming like virtually every single day that I possibly can, as long as I possibly can. You guys can expect videos just about every single day, sometimes maybe even 2 days a week, or 2 times a day. But hopefully I didn't take up too much of your guys' time. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.